Hey guys, Jesus here from Team Yeti, and I've been seeing a lot of these like $5 to knife videos, $10 to knife videos, dollar to knife videos, and I'm thinking to myself, well, all these guys have done it through gambling. So I have two ways of doing it. One of which that involves some sort of gambling, but it's not like where you put in your skins in exchange for currency. There's two methods, and this is going to be video one. Okay, this is option one you have. Now I've actually done this personally and gotten to a knife, so I can tell you it works. And the knife I had gotten when I had finished this was a flip knife Doppler. Okay, not a cheap knife by most standards. Okay, it's a pretty nice knife, I won't lie. But I also didn't put in like $5 or $10. I started with 20 and then worked my way up. Okay, so the way I did it was I did trade up contracts. Now, for those of you who don't know, trade up contracts are when you take 10 skins from a purple, a pink, a blue, and then try to get a class above, the next weapon class above. Okay, so for example, in the brand new Hydra case, if I took 10 blueprints, I'd have a chance of getting one of these 5 purples. Okay, each of them would be 20% chance. I have a 20% chance for the AK, Scout, P90, P2K, and P250. The trade-ups that I did vary. Okay, now this also has to do with how much money you're willing to risk. Okay, now to me, a perfect trade-up would be something like the one in the Vanguard collection that I frequently do. You take 10 of the blues and you try to trade them up to the purples. Now, optimally, they want to be at or below 40 cents. Okay, so like this one would probably be your best bet for now. The other day, this was a good one because it was at like 40 cents. So it optimally be your best bet to go with the MP9. So once you do this, you have a 75% chance of making your money back and or making a couple dollars. So how this works is if I got this, I'd make about $1.50. Okay, if I got the A4, I'd make about $1.70, $1.80. Okay, if I got this, I'd pretty much break even until this goes up. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you guys is to buy your skins at the right time and sell them at the right time. Essentially, skins are stocks in a way. You're buying into them and waiting for them to rise or fall depending on the time of the year, time of the market, what's going on in Counter-Strike, blah, 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 blah. Say, for example, just theoretically, if Valve was like, okay, new game in a year, all of the skins would drop in price drastically. You wouldn't have D-lores being $2,000 anymore. They'd probably be about like $100 at max, okay? So I'm just saying, it's just like, it's timing, okay? So that's just the world too. Now, another thing is you got to also take into consideration how much it costs to buy into one of these contracts. Okay, like this one right here is about $4 or $5 max, absolute max. That's how much I'd put in, maximum. So another contract that's pretty good, or used to be pretty good, for example, was the pinks to reds in the Gamma collection. Now this used to be a $30 gun when it was minware. Used to be around like a $28 to $31 gun. Okay, so before the Spectrum case came out, that gun was worth a lot of money. So what I would do is I would just take 10 of these, and these weren't as cheap, mind you. They were probably around like $150 a piece, and I'd take these and I'd try to get that into 50-50. Now, statistically, if I do this 100 times, I'm going to make money, because even though I could lose money on the Glock, it's not that significant considering this thing's around $10. Okay, so you statistically will make more money than you will lose. Because if you get one of these, it pays off for 2 of these losses. You see what I'm saying? Because you make about $4 or $5 profit, as opposed to if you lose 2 of these contracts and you get the Glock, you lose about $3 to $5. So that's just one of them. But what I'm trying to say is that you have to pick them carefully. Like, I had to scour for these. And like, yes, doing contracts for you mixed collections can be good, and I've seen it work out. But in my experience, it messes with the odds too much. So that's just my experience. Another good contract that I like to do is the Gamma 2 case. Okay, arguably one of my favorite cases. Okay, it's a really good case with a few exceptions. Okay, but the trade up from the pinks to the reds is still pretty good. But, and there's a big but, this is a very risky contract. Okay, this used to be really expensive. So when I did these, they were about $20 buy-ins. Okay, and while it was worth it to do it, because if I got the AK, it was a $20 profit. If I got the FAMAS, it was a $17 loss. So it's kind of risky, and it's a 50-50 contract. meaning that you can get this 50% of the time and you get this 50% of the time. So it's not as expensive as it used to be. This used to be like a $45 gun. This used to be $2 a piece for field testing. Okay, so it's changing. Okay, I'm just saying the market changes a lot. Now, one thing I will tell you guys is that if you get something bad, don't try to immediately sell it unless you know the market's not going to get above a certain point where you're going to make profit. Okay, with skins, they change in price pretty frequently. So my first contract I ever did, I did a trade up in the Weapons Case 1 collection. Okay, and I got a Stat Track Minware Darkwater. I love the thing. I thought it was awesome. Okay. And at the time, it was worth $15, and I ended up losing $2 or $3 on it. I was like, you know what? Let me just keep it. It's a cool pistol. I like it. Let me just keep it. So, kept it. A month later, I sold it, and I ended up making a lot of profit on it. I ended up selling it for like $29. Okay, but it's just timing. Okay, like right now, this is at $40. That's worth a lot of money. I sold mine a couple months ago, I think for $37, because I didn't know if the market was going to cap at $38 and go down or whatever. I just decided, hey, I can make $7 or $8 profit. I'm selling it. Okay. It's just timing. Okay. It's like the thing is you got to worry about with this is finding the right skins. Okay. Yes, you could find the trade up. Like I can go out and be like, okay, I'm gonna do a Gamma Case trade up. Okay, cool. Go out and look for it. But the problem you're going to have is it's easy to find contracts, okay? Like it's easy as hell to find a contract that's worth it. The biggest concern that you're going to have is finding the skins. So for example, say I wanted to, this is not the cheapest one. If I wanted to do the Gamma Case trade up, I go and look at the skins. And I have a couple of Chrome extensions that allow me to do this and look at floats very quickly. Okay? Can't use that one. And it's just you got to find the right skins. Now, to find out what values you need, you're going to go back here, and you're going to look at your targeted gun. Let's go to a different collection first, actually. Sorry, I'm just getting a little sidetracked. So let's go to a different collection. So we're back here at the Vanguard collection, okay? So we have two targets, okay? One of them has a float range of 0.68, okay? 0.68 is the max float value you can have. The other is at a 0.80. So if we want a guaranteed minware M4 either or, what we're going to do is we're going to take out our calculator and we're going to type in 0.1499999 repeating until you just fill up the entire thing. Okay, now that is technically a minware skin. So what we do is we divide it by the larger value. Okay, because if it works for the Griffin, it'll definitely work for this. So 0.8, and that is the average float value we need. Okay. Now, it's not going to work for most other collections, okay? Like, 0.8 is a pretty common one, but you want to check this every time. So let's go back to the Gamma collection, okay? Go to this, and hey, it's 0.8. So we need to have an average float value of 0.18749 repeating, essentially, okay? So now we go back, and we want to try to keep it below 0.2 for the most part. So we can't use that, we can't use that. This one's perfect, okay? Like, this is what you optimally want to find. This one's fine with this one. This one's like right on the dot. So we have 2, 3, 3. Only 3 in the first page. And the price has already gone up 10 cents. That's about if you keep buying at this price, you're going to waste about $1 of profit. Okay. So now, go back. We go to the auto. Now, I recommend getting these extensions. The best one I have came across is the one on csgofloat.com. They are not sponsoring me. I'm just telling you from my experience that the one on csgofloat.com is the best one I have worked with. And another thing that I frequently look for is if I'm doing a trade up, I look for skins that have a low float range, okay? So this one is pretty low for the most part. Even though Battlescar's pretty big and it doesn't look so big on the site, it's a large chunk. It's over 50% of the float percentages, okay? So the maximum float this could be is a 0.45. So that means when someone tries to trade up and get an M4 Desolate Space, every time they try to get one, it's going to be a reasonably good float on the Bloodsport if they fail. So there's going to be a lot of good floats. Like I could use this one, use that one, so we're up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there you go. And see how the price is not going up so much? This is what you look for, okay? You're going to spend more than the bottom price. For example, the bottom price on these, so the cheapest price was a $1.24 pistol, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to buy quickly. Okay. This is a problem with trade ups. If you're gonna buy something in the market, execute it quickly. Okay. You can buy other stuff in OP Skins too, but OP Skins is a finicky marketplace to say the least. And CSGO Stash is a really good website. This video is not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by anybody, guys. I'm just saying that CSGO Stash is a very good website to look at this stuff from because it literally pours out everything right in front of you. You can look at stuff by collection, by knife, by weapon class. It's just so nice. Everything's all laid out right in front of you. So this is the main tool I use to find contracts. So this is part 1. I will post part 2 sometime shortly. Getting a little better with this new video editor that I'm using. It's called HitFilm 4. So, yeah, that's really it, guys. If you have any questions or comments or results, let me know in the comments. I really like to hear you guys' results and see how well you guys did. It really means a lot to me. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. I'm Jesus from Team Yeti, and I'm out.